Suddenly, the calls stopped. They drifted away. Once the benefit was gone, the friendship disappeared. This story repeats itself countless times in adult life too. You may have a friend who only checks in when they're in trouble. The moment you say no once, or you're unable to help, suddenly they vanish. And the silence that follows isn't just disappointing, it's eye-opening. You realize that what you thought was loyalty was simply convenience. And what about relationships? Many people promise forever. But circumstances change, money, health, or opportunity enters the picture, and suddenly, forever becomes for now. You may have seen it. A partner who says, "I'll always stand by you" during the good days, but slips away when storms arrive. But the truth is, the self-interest they concealed beneath the vows of loyalty rises to the surface. And in that painful moment, you see the reality Machiavelli described centuries ago. Even on social media, you see this. Influencers, celebrities, politicians, their followers seem loyal, but loyalty lasts only as long as the giveaways, the fame, the excitement. The moment the value disappears, the crowd moves on. Think of an influencer who becomes popular because of giveaways or glamorous content. Thousands of comments, likes, and shares flood in. It feels like love. It feels like loyalty. But the day they stop posting regularly, or the content shifts, the loyal crowd drifts away to the next shiny account. Was it loyalty, or was it interest disguised as loyalty? This pattern plays out not just online, but in communities, in politics, even in families. Politicians, for example, often rise to power on a wave of public loyalty. But the moment they stop delivering benefits, that loyalty vanishes overnight. Voters don't remember the speeches or promises, they remember what they gained. And if the gain disappears, so does their support. So don't be surprised. Machiavelli warned us. Self-interest rules stronger than loyalty. And yet, even knowing this, why does betrayal still shock us every time? Because deep down, we crave permanence. We want bonds that last forever, and when they don't, it hurts. But here's where it gets interesting. If betrayal is so common, if self-interest rules so strongly, why does it still shock us every time? Why do we keep expecting people to act against their own interest for the sake of loyalty? Maybe it's because we crave connection. We crave certainty. The human heart doesn't just want friendship, it wants permanence. We want to believe that the people we laugh with today will stand with us tomorrow. And when that illusion is shattered, it cuts deep. But when you look around with clear eyes, you'll start to see the signs. The friend who is only present when life is easy, the colleague who celebrates your success only when it doesn't affect them, the partner who loves the sunshine but disappears in the storm, they are all reminders of the truth philosophers have been warning us about for centuries. Here's the paradox. Once you accept that most people are guided by self-interest, you stop being bitter. Why? Because you stop expecting the impossible. Instead, you start valuing the rare people who stand with you when there's nothing in it for them. And those people, the ones who stay when times are dark, when you have no fruit on your tree, when your value to the world seems diminished, those are the ones you can call truly loyal. So ask yourself, in your life right now, who are the people who check in without needing anything? Who are the ones who sit with you when you're low, not when you're high? Who are the ones who protect your name even when you're not in the room? Those people may be few, but they are the rare gems Machiavelli admitted existed even in his cynical world. And perhaps betrayal, painful as it is, serves one important purpose: it clears the stage. It removes the pretenders, the convenience-based connections, and reveals the real ones. In the ashes of betrayal, you discover who was genuine all along. But here's the dangerous part. What do you do when betrayal comes not from strangers, not from casual acquaintances, but from the people you love the most? What happens when it's your best friend, your sibling, your lifelong partner? How do you live in a world where betrayal is not rare, but almost inevitable? Let me tell you a story. Imagine a young man who spent years helping his friends. He worked long nights, sometimes even skipping meals to support them. He paid their bills, cheered them up when they were down, defended them when others attacked. He believed, deeply believed, that this loyalty would one day be returned. But then, life struck. He lost his job. Suddenly, the same friends who were always at his home vanished. His phone stopped buzzing. The laughter, the shared meals, the promises, all gone. And in that silence, he realized a painful truth. They were never loyal to him. They were loyal only to what he provided. This is the trap Machiavelli saw centuries ago. And it's a trap we still fall into today. But to really understand betrayal, we need to look back at history. Because betrayal is not just a modern wound, it's a timeless pattern. Take Julius Caesar, the Roman general who conquered lands, expanded the empire, and ruled with unmatched power. He was surrounded by allies, senators, and friends. But among them was Brutus, a man Caesar loved like a son. On the Ides of March, 44 BCE, Caesar walked into the Senate, confident in his circle of loyalty. But what happened? He was cut down by the very men he trusted, and when he saw Brutus among them, his heart broke. His last words, "Et tu, Brute? You too, Brutus?" echo through history as the most famous expression of betrayal. Caesar could face death, but Brutus's betrayal crushed him more than the daggers themselves. Or think of Jesus Christ, who spoke of love, forgiveness, and loyalty. Yet, among his 12 chosen disciples, there was Judas. For 30 pieces of silver, Judas betrayed him with a kiss. A kiss, the ultimate symbol of affection, turned into the ultimate act of treachery. The betrayal wasn't just a transaction. It was a lesson that even in the closest circle, selfish interest can outweigh loyalty. History is filled with such stories. Kings betrayed by their generals. Leaders betrayed by their advisors. Families torn apart by power struggles. Even in the modern world, we see echoes of the same. Corporate leaders pushed out by their own boards. Politicians betrayed by their inner circles. Business partners turning on each other the moment profits dry up. But here's the question. Why do these stories captivate us so deeply? Because they mirror our own lives, just on a grander scale. Caesar had his Brutus. You may have yours. Jesus had his Judas. You may have encountered one too, a person you trusted deeply, only to be betrayed in the most personal way. And betrayal doesn't always come in the form of a dagger or a bag of silver. Sometimes it's silence when you expected support. Sometimes it's absence when you needed presence. Sometimes it's the quiet withdrawal of love, loyalty, or attention at the very moment you needed it most. But let's push this further. What happens when betrayal comes from family? From the people we assume are bound by blood to stay loyal? History gives us countless examples. Consider the Mughal Empire in India. Battles for succession often turned brothers into enemies. Aurangzeb, for instance, waged war against his own brothers to claim the throne. Loyalty to family was no match for the hunger for power. Or look at modern business empires. Families with vast wealth and companies often fracture not because of external threats, but because siblings betray siblings, cousins betray cousins, all for control of inheritance. The pattern Machiavelli described plays out in boardrooms and courtrooms across the world. And if we come closer to ordinary life, think of the betrayals that never make history books but still shape lives. A spouse who promises faithfulness but walks away when someone better appears. A childhood friend who once said, "We'll always be together," but cuts ties when distance or opportunity creates a gap. A sibling who grows distant because of envy. These betrayals may not topple empires, but they topple hearts. So here's the dangerous part. Betrayal is not just an event. It's a revelation. It shows us who people truly are when their interests are tested. And sometimes, it shows us who we truly are when our illusions are shattered. Let me ask you, which betrayal hurts more? The loud one, where someone openly turns against you, or the quiet one, where someone you love simply fades away when you're no longer useful? Both cut deep, both leave scars, and both remind us that loyalty, for most people, has conditions attached. This is why betrayal shocks us, terrifies us, and teaches us all at once. It is a mirror, showing us not just the weakness of others, but the danger of expecting permanence in a world driven by self-interest. So as we build this picture, remember this: betrayal is not rare, betrayal is not unusual, betrayal is not just your story. It is humanity's story, repeated through centuries, told in blood, in silence, and in broken promises. And the sooner you see it, the sooner you prepare for it, the less power it has to destroy you. So what do? Do we stop trusting everyone? Do we live in constant suspicion? No, the answer is balance. First, expect self-interest, not loyalty. Don't be naive. Assume that most people will act out of gain, not gratitude. If you adjust your expectations, betrayal won't break you, because you were prepared for it. This doesn't mean you stop caring or become cold. It means you shift your mindset. If you know that people are primarily motivated by their own interest, then you stop expecting the impossible. You stop demanding loyalty from those who are incapable of giving it. When betrayal happens, instead of crying, "How could they do this?" you'll whisper to yourself, "Of course." That's human nature. And strangely, this acceptance doesn't harden your heart, it protects it. It saves you from shock. Second, observe actions, not words. Anyone can say, "I'll always be there for you," but words are cheap. Watch how people behave when they have nothing to gain. That's when true loyalty shows itself. Think of it like this: when the lights are bright, the stage is full of people. But when darkness falls, only the real ones remain. Look at who checks in on you when you're struggling, not when you're shining. Who supports you when you're broke, not when you're spending freely. Who speaks well of you when you're absent, not just when you're in the room. Actions reveal truth, words only reveal intention. Let me give you a small example. Imagine two friends. One keeps telling you, "I'll always have your back." The other rarely says anything dramatic. But when you're sick, the second one quietly shows up with soup, checks on you, makes sure you're okay. Who's loyal? The one whose words sounded nice, or the one whose actions spoke without words? Loyalty whispers. Hypocrisy shouts. Third, build inner strength. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "Expect nothing from others." The peace comes when you stop relying on their loyalty. When you ground your happiness in your own values, no one can shake you. Think about it. If your sense of worth depends entirely on other people's loyalty, then betrayal will always destroy you. But if your worth comes from within, from knowing who you are, from standing by your own values, from cultivating resilience, then betrayal may sting, but it won't break you. It becomes a lesson, not a collapse. How do you build this inner strength? By practicing solitude, by journaling your thoughts like the Stoics did, by creating small daily rituals that remind you of your own resilience, by choosing self-respect over constant approval. The stronger your inner foundation, the less betrayal can move you. Fourth, practice strategic trust. Don't hand over your entire heart, your deepest secrets, your biggest resources to everyone who smiles at you. Trust in layers. Test people over time. See who stands when storms come. Those are your true friends. Imagine your trust as a castle. You don't open all the gates for a stranger. First, you let them into the courtyard. If they prove themselves, you allow them into the hall. And only a few, over time, earn the key to the inner chambers. Too often, we hand over the keys on day one. And when betrayal happens, we cry that the castle was looted. But who gave away the keys so easily? So trust, but trust wisely. Give little by little. See how people handle it. Do they respect it? Do they guard it? Or do they use it for their own gain? That's how you separate the loyal from the opportunistic. Here's the truth. You can't control betrayal, but you can control how prepared you are for it. Now, let's make it even more practical. Imagine you're entering a new friendship or relationship. Apply this framework. Instead of assuming instant loyalty, ask yourself, what patterns am I seeing? Do they show up only when things are easy? Or do they stand even when there's no benefit? Instead of giving away your entire trust at once, give them a small piece and watch how they handle it. Slowly, you'll learn to identify who is there for you, and who is only there for themselves. And here's the beautiful irony. Once you stop expecting blind loyalty, the rare moments of true loyalty become even more precious. The one friend who stays when you're broken. The one partner who fights with you instead of abandoning you. The one colleague who supports you even when it costs them. These become treasures, because they shine against the background of common betrayal. So don't let betrayal make you bitter. Let it make you wise. Don't let it close your heart. Let it teach you to guard it better. Don't let it destroy your faith in humanity. Let it refine your ability to recognize the few who are truly loyal. So, why do even your closest friends betray you? Because self-interest is stronger than loyalty. Betrayal isn't the exception, it's the rule. But here's the power hidden in this truth. The sooner you accept it, the less it hurts, and the stronger you become. Instead of being shocked by betrayal, you begin to expect it. Instead of being destroyed, you grow wiser. And when you find that rare person who stays with you through thick and thin, you'll know their loyalty is real, because they had nothing to gain and still chose to stay. And in my next video, I'll reveal something even more powerful. Marcus Aurelius believed that expecting nothing from others is the key to unshakable peace. Imagine a life where betrayal no longer disturbs you, where the storms of others' actions cannot move your calm. That's where we're going next. So remember this, betrayal is not the end. It's a lesson, and once you learn it, you'll never see the world the same way again. If this message spoke to you, if you've ever felt the sting of betrayal or the disappointment of seeing someone you trusted walk away, remember, you're not alone. This is part of the human story, from ancient times to today. What matters is not the betrayal itself, but how you rise after it. And that's why I make these videos, to share wisdom from the greatest minds in history, to remind you that even in your darkest moments, you are stronger than you think. So here's what I want you to do. Take a moment right now and think, who in your life has shown you true loyalty, even when there was nothing in it for them? Hold on to those people. Appreciate them. And if you've been hurt, let that pain teach you, not harden you. If this video gave you clarity or comfort, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who might need to hear these words today. And if you want more lessons from philosophers like Machiavelli, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca, subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and turn on the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss the next truth that could change the way you see the world. And I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, Have you ever been betrayed by someone you thought would never hurt you? What did you learn from it? Your story may be the one that helps someone else heal. Remember, betrayal may break trust, but it doesn't have to break you. Use it as fuel to grow stronger, wiser, and more unshakable. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll dive into Marcus Aurelius's wisdom on why expecting nothing from others can bring you unshakable peace. Until then, stay strong, stay wise, and never forget, the rarest loyalty is the one that costs someone everything, and they still choose to stand by you. And if you stayed with me until the very end, that already proves something rare, loyalty. And if you're one of those rare ones, I'd love for you to stay connected. Tap like, and join me here as we keep uncovering life's deepest truths together.